Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I am Will. I'm joined by my co-host over here, the Greeze. How you doing, Greeze?
I've missed you so dang much.
I know.
Last week was so fun.
It was good. Yeah, we're back at it.
I was back in the saddle, is what Westerns say.
Yeah. Have you ever ridden a horse?
Yeah. I can't tell you how it happened.
Yeah, you can. Whenever you lead with I can't tell you how it happened, then you have to tell me how it happened.
Okay, so when I was in 5th grade, that was the first and last time I ever rode a horse.
You ever wore a horse?
Well, you
got a horse hide, chaps.
Yeah. So if you could picture this guy named Herman Nicholson took
Checks
me
out.
to the horse park farm.
The horse park. Okay, yeah.
Well, they have dog parks. You might as well have a horse park.
That's where
They're in a cage and they run around like a dog park.
throw a stick to a horse and it comes back to you.
That's a boomerang.
No. The
Oh,
horse
it goes
comes back with it's called fetch.
You can do that with that.
You have a dog. I assume you understand the concept of the game fetch. I don't know that. Do you call fetch with your dog? Yeah, hey, you want to play boomerang? Maggie, you want to play boomerang?
Well, you can do a boomerang on TikTok and stuff.
That is completely different type of boomerang.
You can't throw a stick though and let a horse bring it back.
That's
an
at
apple.
The horse park. You can
an apple. Honestly, the horse would probably run away with the apple. It loves apples. 5th grade, I go. They put me on not a big horse, but a smaller one. Some would consider it a pony, but it was just a younger
miniature horse.
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, it wasn't big. Okay, so they
Greeze in 5th grade climbed up on it by himself.
I did.
Yeah. Small guy.
So I got up on there, and it wasn't cool. It wasn't acting great. So Herman decided he was going to walk with me with the horse. Okay, so he's got the thing, and it's basically like a pony ride, essentially. You know what I mean? Like when you go.
How old is Herman?
Oh, he's probably 40.
Oh, so in my head, Herman's your buddy.
No.
Like a fellow 5th grader.
No.
Herman is a guy that probably shouldn't be hanging out with 5th graders.
This is a guy that I used to shoot guns with in my neighborhood. He was a neighbor.
Definitely a 40-year-old that should not be hanging out with 5th graders.
Right. My mom was not necessarily that cool with it. Okay.
Then who was? Who allowed this?
Well, I had some freedoms. I had
freedoms to go to a horse park with a 40-year-old?
You have to understand, Will, there was no cell phones.
The way you're touching me in the context of this story makes me uncomfortable.
Okay, that's fair. No, my mom thought it was weird, but he was so nice. And she did,
literally, I've seen that interview on the local news. I mean, it was a little weird, but he was so nice to my son.
I love stories that literally get derailed like 500 times. It's like literally my favorite kind of storytelling.
Yeah.
I'm being dead serious.
Oh, I'm aware. People have seen it for 6 years.
I want everybody to understand, though, that nothing happened. I just need to clarify.
Right.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Now,
you're alluding to things.
I'm not alluding.
I am.
I'm telling you a story. So he's walking me with the horse because it was acting rambunctious. He was going to ride the big mama. And then I was going to a colt. Okay. Well, it was a big horse and it was the mom.
Yeah.
He's walking me. All of a sudden, the smaller horse wants to go see mom. Okay.
Yeah.
And takes off. Herman didn't have a good grip. I'm going. Horse is hauling it toward the mom.
Yeah.
And apparently they didn't secure my saddle really good. The only thing I remember is
You're just doing this slowly sliding around the belly of the horse.
The harness or the saddle or whatever wasn't secured properly.
Yeah.
So I just start doing this thing until I'm almost under the horse, and Herman says, "Jump out!" Because if I got under the horse,
drag your face on the
100%. And I really wish I would have fell into a cow patty.
Yeah.
Because that would just be the punctuation on the story.
The crap on the cake.
But I did jump. I did kick my feet out of the stirrups, and I landed right next to a cow patty. But
You're like Joe Biden on a bicycle, just kind of falling over.
Oh yeah,
trying to kick out of the toe clip.
I don't know what it looked like in third person.
Yeah.
Or is it second?
Herman's eye view.
Yeah, Herman. Good old Herman's eye. That does sound like a condition.
How many times after this horse incident did you hang out with Herman?
All the time, dude. We shot shotguns, BB guns. We went fishing. He got super pissed at me for fishing one time because we caught this massive rainbow trout.
Yeah.
And he said it's pregnant and it's going to have a bunch of babies.
Yeah.
And he said, do you want to throw it back? I think you should throw it back, or do you want to keep it? And I was like, no, man, I got to keep it.
Why
and
did
eat
he
it.
give you a moral dilemma there? At how old were you at this point?
Very similar age.
Did Herman have a family, or was he riding solo?
He did. He had a wife and daughter, and Joey and Mike McGinn bought their house.
Currently.
Yeah, so I've had huge history with that house.
Yeah.
And there was a hot tub in the back that...
Did you ever hang out with her? I can't even say it. You did, didn't you?
I did not.
Okay, good.
I did not.
Uh-huh.
I never did with Joey and Mike either.
Yeah.
I don't think that room even worked.
It was an indoor hot tub?
Yes.
Oh, we had one of those when I lived in Georgia as well.
Yeah. I feel like that's like that. Like,
why was that a thing?
If you do drugs, you have that.
Well, we didn't do drugs, but we did have it. And we had
you had never done drugs in there?
Greeze.
I'm not talking about like regular drugs. I'm
like
like
Sudafed. Well, now you can't do that, but
or Dimetap.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Do you remember when
did.
Tylenol?
I was 5.
Had codeine in it. Can you believe that? When we were kids, Tylenol 3. It was called Tylenol 3.
Oh, Tylenol 3. Yeah, I know. I've heard of that.
Over the counter codeine.
Right. Yeah. Things were Wild West back then.
Speaking of Wild West,
riding a horse,
flipping
around.
Oh, Herman.
That you riding a horse is like the worst version of Yellowstone. It's like just you on the horse. It's like the least manly version of Yellowstone.
It would be like I would be in a John Wayne movie. I would be cast in a John Wayne movie. You know how when he threw that kid in the river, he was just so pissed he didn't know how to swim? John Wayne would be super pissed with me if riding a horse.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Oh, for sure. He'd shoot you. He'd shoot the horse out from underneath you.
He probably would.
That's the way it happens.
That horse needed to go down.
That was actually a pretty good John Wayne. I'm proud of you on that.
I feel like it was.
So we're gonna do a couple things here in the body of the show, but there was one thing I sometimes I just try to we've been over this. I get a Google alert for bourbon.
Yeah.
Like the word bourbon.
Yeah.
And most of it's the crime report on Bourbon Street.
100%.
In New Orleans. But I did have one that popped up. No, and a lot of times you get other interesting stuff about bourbon and stuff, but it's a lot of lists from like Up Rocks and like top 10 bourbons bartenders think you should know about those. And it's always
it always upsets me.
Not the right ones. Right. But this is a Bainbridge, Ohio police blotter.
Okay.
And it says a physical fight broke out at 9:30 a.m. December 15th outside the wine reserve as about 40 people stood in line for the store to open. The attraction was the availability of Buffalo Trace bourbon, which had been promoted on a website. When police arrived, it was determined that 2 men pushed each other when one of them attempted to cut in line ahead of others who had been waiting longer. No one wanted to press charges. But I just love, we joke about the line sitting and all that, but in my head, it's like,
I feel like
Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, like Jingle All the Way. Like, you remember that movie?
Ish.
It's like
I've seen it.
It's like the superhero action figure everybody wants to get.
Yeah.
And they like run for it and always are trying to get it. And so, but in my head, it's just a bunch of
like Walmart on Black Friday.
A bunch of 30-year-old dudes. Yeah, essentially, that's like where the concept was like born out of.
Yeah.
Of the movie was like the Black Friday fighting over the toy. But I love the image of this like them shoving. The police come and they're just like, who wants to press charges?
Yeah, please.
Nope. No, I'm good.
Please do that.
Also, according to that, it says Buffalo Trace. Hopefully it was BTAC. Hopefully they were sitting in line for BTAC.
I don't know, dude. It's only 40 people. It's only 40.
I know, but
was it a single barrel?
It just says Buffalo Trace. I'm sure we could probably find on the internet.
If it's a single barrel from that store, that's even worse. Because let me go ahead and tell you, there's more than 40 bottles.
I don't know if it's worse, but
yeah, it is. They're pushing each other for skipping in line of 40 people when there's a whole barrel.
If it's regular Buffalo Trace, just the batch, that's worse than a single barrel. At least a single barrel.
Okay, that's fair.
There is like a finite number of that barrel.
But what if that guy knew how many there were?
Those 2 guys shoved each other and then didn't press charges. But somebody called the police, so I want to know who the snitch is.
Do you think they knew each other prior and was like, let's mess this thing up?
No. Well, they may have known each other prior, but I don't think they thought to themselves, let's get the police called.
Did they have priors? No, because they didn't press charges.
Well, I mean, they didn't have priors.
Well, they checked their IDs.
Priors, but it's like they just said, we're done here. We're not going to fight anymore. We're not going to press charges. That doesn't mean they didn't have prior arrests.
Well, the police probably checked it, Will.
Yeah, but they didn't say they have priors. They also didn't say they don't have priors.
Well, that just could be bad journalism.
It's a police blotter. The police put it out.
The police put it out?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're not gonna admit
Ticker
that.
tape. Yeah.
They're not gonna admit it. They're gonna omit it.
Speaking of police, we got this old state trooper decanter. Dude, it always looks plastic to me because the seats are plastic, but then it always surprised me that it is still a porcelain decanter. What's that made out? Who's that made by? Jim Beam?
Yeah, Jim Beam. 4-year.
No.
Dude, it's actually pretty good. I've actually had it. You want to try some?
No, I'm good right now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm fine.
It could have turned.
Yeah.
I'm going to see.
Like you said, I don't mess around with the law.
Dude, look how I have to. There looks like there's mold in it. Oh, my. Smell that. You want some.
I'm on the fence.
You're not on a horse.
Yeah, because I got thrown off the horse into the fence. Okay. That does smell pretty good. Here, just before you drink it, just pour a little in there. Just that scotch.
No, scotch.
I said scotch, the way I always say it. Just a scotch.
See, I get confused every time of like.
Just think whatever.
Does he say scotch or scotch?
Which one do you think is right?
Scotch.
Then you're wrong, even if I say it right. I just don't think you're going to be correct on it. No, I've never said scotch.
I'm getting a little library books now. Not a great thing.
Yeah, now it's starting to get bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should just shot it real fast. It doesn't need air to touch it.
It's fine. But it's not that great.
4-year Jim Beam that's probably the 80s, right? What do you think? Oh, there's some nice butterscotch on the end, though.
Do you see what I just did? Yeah, I thought I'd get a reaction.
I don't care what you do to this basement. It's seen worse.
Yep. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
We're hanging out, doing our thing.
So we're premiering this, actually. So we're actually not live.
Right.
But we're in the comments.
Yeah, maybe. Unless we're recording another show.
Oh, that's fair.
We're going to kind of go back a little bit old school. So for you podcast listeners, you'll appreciate it a little bit that we thought we still want to interact with people on YouTube. We still want to have that fun. And we'll probably be live once every 4 to 6 weeks probably is our range,
yeah.
but average of once a month.
Doing the call-in shows,
do that,
or
just
you got to do
fun.
Live.
But we feel like, and we collectively say this, that Greeze gets distracted by the chat, and we all do. Everyone, it's, when you're talking to an audience that is live watching, you tend to play to them a little bit more, and we wanted to go a little bit back for 2023, try to test out our roots where we record it like a podcast where it's just me and the Greeze hanging out talking.
Right.
You guys are a part of the conversation. You're watching or listening.
Well, you've probably noticed that we're not fixated out here.
Right. We're talking to each other again.
Right. We're talking to each other again. It feels good. It feels right. It's in our wheelhouse. And we're a podcast that's on YouTube.
And so that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna play with it and see how it feels. Just a little bit, right here at the tip of 2023, and just see how we go.
Oh man,
I'm not even anxious about saying that because we're not live. There's not people watching,
right? So. But I'm not editing this.
No, neither am I.
Okay, great.
So check us out though. If you are listening, you can see the video version of this at youtube.com/thepodcast, and if you are watching, you can also get the audio version wherever you get your podcasts. But if you want to support the show, also go to patreon.com/thepodcast. Check out those levels
and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
We haven't asked people to do that in a while,
probably 2 years,
and I really wish we would.
Yeah,
because that just helps for placement and stuff. We've been in the top 100 in food. What's the lowest we got on that, or highest?
Oh,
like 20s?
In the 20s.
Yeah, in the 20s, which is
this is that Australian 1894.
Yeah, baby. I just poured him
Wild Turkey Masters Keep 1894. This is an Australian release that our buddy brought over for us.
Yeah. Jez.
So this is a heck of a pour.
Or as they say in Spain, Hez.
Yeah. have. Because they have, in Spain, they have the lisp.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
Is that
Barcelona is Barcelona. Check it out. I'm not wrong.
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
No, that sounds like you can't say
like
that.
Ibiza is Ibiza.
I don't think you can say this.
That's just how it's pronounced.
I understand.
In Spanish.
I'm saying it's 2022 and Barcelona needs to fix that.
It's the way they speak. It's the accent.
Understand.
It's pronunciation.
I understand.
That's like me going to Habersham and trying to say, this is 2022. You can't say right. You know? Like saying you can't say right like that anymore. You got to say right.
What do you think about this pour?
I like it a lot. I think it's great. I think it tastes very wild turkey. What's the proof on it?
It's just not special to me like the other Master's Keeps I've had. It's good.
I think it's quite good.
It's quite good, yes.
Is it a lower proof?
Yeah.
What is it, like 86?
You're making me look at things. This is unbelievable. Oh my gosh, do they not even have it on here? They have to.
They do percent. It's 45% alcohol.
Oh, it's up here. It's up here. It's up here. You saw it? You saw 40?
Yeah, I already saw it. It's 45%.
I actually thought it was 86.
I did too, but it's 90. I think it for a 90 proofer, ton of flavor. It just finishes short. And that's what you're missing.
Speaking of 86 proof, that 10 cup 14 year.
Oh, we're going to do that for the 15.
No, we're going to do that on a video.
And on the 15.
And on the 15. Why are we doing both?
I explained this before we went live.
Well, I know, but I thought...
By live, we started recording.
Right. I thought you had swayed from that.
Though. No. That's my whole point, was that we can do it on the 15, and people that watch the whole show or listen to the whole show get that content. But then if there are people, then there's many people that watch our shorter videos that don't watch our long videos, will still get that review. So what we do is we do it for the 15. We have our leisurely chat about it, and we also do the short form video of it. A little inside baseball.
Inside baseball.
Workshopping it.
Well, I have something that's going to pierce a hole in your idea that we'll discuss on the break of the 15 when we stop.
Okay, so maybe we're not doing that?
There's a technicality that we have that's stopping us. And I'll explain it to you later, Will. Don't even worry about it.
I don't understand.
We've got a call coming in from our correspondent in D.C. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm down here drunk down here.
What's that
what
place?
You mean? What do you mean technical? I'm perplexed.
It's technical.
No, I know. Why? I don't understand why we can't.
We need to shoot the special in 4K.
I know. We'd stop. And you can't do that on that?
Sure. I mean, our video quality is going to get really good at the end. Because right now we're in 480p.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. We're doing it twice.
Oh.
It's two different pieces of content.
Okay.
It's not just that you cut the 15 and release it separately.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to give my answer then. Because I want people to look at the other video. I'm just going to be like, I want you to just go look at the views of our long form videos, our lives, compared to the short ones, and you're not hurting anybody's feelings if you do it twice. Fair.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
All right, but we are doing something fun during the show portion of this, not the review portion, and that is we're going to do a little side-by-side.
Rittenhouse store picks, man, they're out there.
This is Rittenhouse Rye, the bottle and bond, the standard 100 proof. From Heaven Hill makes it. I love Rittenhouse Rye. It's a lot of times referred to as like a bourbon drinker's rye or a beginner's rye because it's just the 51% rye instead of the a much higher rye, like 95.5 rye, 95% rye grain, 5% malted barley is what like the MGP rye is that a lot of people like.
Yes.
This one's barely a rye. Like it's 51% rye.
Right. Limped in.
Corn and malted barley make up the rest. But then they've started doing store picks. And this is a Rittenhouse Rye bottle and bond, obviously same, but store pick single barrel from Cool Springs Wine and Spirits. I know our friends at Red Dog have one too. $35. It says it was barreled March 26th of 2018. So
okay, so
4.5 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, it meets the bottle and bond requirement. and it is. We're gonna see what we think.
We're gonna side by side them. First, we got to aerate them.
Always smart to do.
You got to add air to it,
especially when it's already sealed.
Look at that.
You're adding air that's already inside there.
Look at that. All right, I'm gonna pour the regular,
and I'll pour the bottled in bond.
I got to shoot
single barrel.
That's the most whiskey I've had in 2 months. That shot right there.
Well, slow down, Tiger. All right, so this is I love still holding in strong with the plastic screw caps on these.
Oh yeah.
So it's good for travel.
All right, so mine's the regular.
Yeah, and I'm doing pour regular in there.
Do regular on the left.
Regular on the left, and on the right is the Now, you haven't had to keep track of glasses side by side in some time, so let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I think the last time I did was Matt Madness 2021.
It does have the Rickhouse 5, floor 6, barrel number. It's got that information. It's a very similar label, but then under where it used to say bottle and bond, they just put private single barrel, Cool Springs Wine and Spirits. So not a ton different on the label.
I mean, here's the deal. You can get single barrels of Jack Daniels at 94 proof. So it's not like you're getting like a crazy low proof single barrel. It's just special because they haven't really done they might have done them back in the day.
The single barrel one, this is 100 proof. It's not 94.
Oh, I know.
This is bottom
I'm just saying it's like, it's 100 proof.
Yeah, but I mean, you get they have a lot of things that are store picked that aren't cast strength at Heaven Hill. Like Elijah Craig. Elijah Craig. I think that's probably the only barrel pick that you can do other than Rittenhouse.
I just want an Evan Williams black label single barrel. That's all I want.
Oh, like the 86 proof?
Yeah.
I mean, you used to be able to buy them all day long.
Okay, so you're saying just buy a barrel's worth? No, I'm saying I want the flavor profile of the barrel I want.
Oh, okay. Well, then just shop around until you
I had a guy
it.
tell me the other day that he was going to get a Jack Daniels barrel. He had one. This was years ago. Mm-hmm. And he punted it because they said they had to bottle them. He wanted the barrel with the juice in it because he wanted to be like, hey, man, you want any whiskey out of my barrel? And thief it out and just pour it. And I said, Case, buddy, you could literally just buy the barrel. They bottle it. You put the barrel in your house because you get the barrel,
and then
just pour it in there. Like, how many people do you think have probably done that?
There's probably more than
just aging it up.
Yeah, that's I haven't done it, but it's not a bad idea.
I mean, I feel like I would have known if you'd have done it.
Who's to say? I mean, also
you got crawl space.
It's a heck of a. I mean, I know people do buy an entire private barrel, but it's like, especially if you're doing Jack Daniels 94 proof, not like barrel strength. The proof has been lowered, right? Yeah. And they used to not do private barrels of the barrel strength. It used to always be the 94 proof,
right? And
so it would be a little different because it's the proof's lower and you're putting it back in. It'd still probably be fun, but the concept also, it's gonna probably get bitter because you're it's not in like the right environments and stuff, and it's just sitting in your house, and it's gonna take a minute to get to drink through that whole thing. But who's to say?
Maybe I mean, who on the planet can sit there and go through 200 bottles in their house?
Yeah,
in any time, like it minimum.
It's impossible to.
Let's just say you drink a quarter. Let's just say you drink 5 to 6 ounces a night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a quarter of a bottle.
Right.
You're at well over 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Well, until you drain that thing.
You ever heard of COVID? All right, let's try it. We're going to try the original Rittenhouse first.
It smells like Heaven Hill.
I love this.
Oh, dude, we've always loved this.
I've always loved Rittenhouse. It's so good. 100 proof.
It's so good.
I love making cocktails with it. I love making old fashions with it. I love just drinking it neat.
Yeah. It doesn't have, so with let's just say because it's so low rye, it's very similar to bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how like Heaven Hill, like Bottled and Bond 6 year, the white label, the old white label.
Yeah.
There's a tinge of harshness on that bottle. This is just chill.
Yeah, you get a lot of the sweetness because there's so much corn, but I think because the corn is less than the rye, that spice and that flavor with a younger bourbon or younger rye, rather, obviously not a bourbon.
This would trip me up,
but the
big time.
The youth of the rye, it cuts out some of that graininess, cuts out some of the youthful notes you think of if this were corn dominant. Mm-hmm. And because it's not, you just get the sweetness of the corn with the rye spice, but it's not like the contrast of this with like one of the Willet small batches, the 4-year small batches, which is high rye, 95.5. It's pretty stark. Like, I don't know if you were drinking them side by side, you would, especially blind, you'd be like, well, the Willet is a rye and this is a bourbon.
Right.
Because there is such a stark difference between the two of them.
I agree.
All right, sleepyhead.
Okay.
Let's try the. Man, that tastes like sweet tea. The regular.
I usually get that note, and I don't get that note. But I also get notes that you don't get. And vice versa. I could see tea.
All right, I'm nosing them.
It's got a slight little mint to it, too. Ooh, interesting.
Now this one I get some mint on.
Way more soft.
But like wintergreen.
Yeah, so nose the regular, and it's just a little bit more harsh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited to try this. I'm excited to try this so dang much.
It smells like the blue winter fresh gum. You know, the blue Wrigley's?
I say the spearmint.
Definitely a minty feeling going on.
Yeah.
Much richer body.
What just happened? I don't have my...
What are you talking about?
All of a sudden, don't have my...
Ears? No, you're on. Don't just hit it. I kicked it probably.
Oh.
It's on me.
There we go.
Now we're going to have to edit because Greeze is banging on the microphone for the people driving in their car. It's like, how many accidents did Grease just cause? For those of you not watching, Grease couldn't hear in his ears. My leg had kicked.
Yeah, sorry, I was smacking everything. Dude, the single barrel, solid,
much more robust profile.
Richer,
like the flavor is
richer,
much more robust.
Now I didn't think on the nose and the palate that the regular Rittenhouse. I thought it was fine. I thought it was good, but going back and forth, this smells like a 90 proof.
Yeah,
it does.
Do you need to do anything with that file?
Mm-mm. I like both in their own way. I truly do. If you like higher proof, I think you would lean towards taste higher proof. It's got that grit to it. It's got. I don't know what it is.
And by that, you're referring to the regular, right?
The regular.
It tastes higher proof.
Yeah.
Got some more grit to it.
Mm-hmm. Man, I would love to try Red Dogs compared to this, but
what I love about this,
if Justin had any hand in this, well done.
And I don't know, because Justin's been now, at this point, the picks may be after his tenure, but even without that, it's really good. This one, it's only like $35, which Rittenhouse in our area cost about that anyways. So I know some state like Oklahoma, you can get Rittenhouse for like $25. Like it's like $10 cheaper than here, but it's around, and maybe not anymore because the prices of everything have gone up so much. But I think $35 for the standard bonded Rittenhouse is great. I think it's so versatile. You can drink it neat. I'm a big fan of that. But I would say the having the same price for the single barrel, because something like if you look at the like Elijah Craig is,
oh no,
what happened?
We're supposed to have a town hall tonight, and I put 9:15 Eastern.
Oh,
checks out.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll get through it.
Let's just go ahead and put some of those bars and tones and fix that real quick. Bam, baby.
Zigga-za-za-za.
And we're back from the 15th. Oh, wait.
Say.
We never. Dude, I liked how you just did that. I've never heard you say.
Some say we've never left. Man, I'm a big fan of both of those. I think they're delicious.
I'm a huge fan of both of them. They're both very different.
Yeah.
But I side by side, I'd be like, this is different whiskey.
Yeah.
However, the profile a little bit does resonate in like the same family.
Sure. Yeah. If I was blind,
obviously,
and tasted them, I would say
that.
If I was drinking them blind.
Thank you.
If I was blind tasting them.
Thank you.
I would say these are two different whiskeys. But if you said they're the same whiskey, one's a single barrel, I'd be like, oh, that makes sense.
Yes.
Right? Like there is enough familiarity. Yes. It's just this one I feel like is a little bit more robust, a little bit different. But they're both great.
Guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you something. If you're a new drinker or you're an experienced whiskey connoisseur, these Rittenhouse single barrels, as far as I'm concerned, after drinking one of them, I'm going to hunt more.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to go pick up the one at Red Dog. Because if this one's that good, knowing that there's another one out there, it's a good price, I'm going to go pick it up just because I haven't, those are the only two I've seen. And I think I remember.
I want one of these. Do they still have them?
Yeah, they have, I mean, the other day they still did. They still had to
I'm going to go buy.
They have a Remus store pick in there right now. They have they
have a ton. They have so many at Cool Springs right now.
I mean, there were several that I was interested in, is what I
Well, they just added another store downtown. And so I think that they kind of did the barrels and brews model of like, let's get a bunch of barrels because we were about to be able to split them.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
I think that's probably kind of what happened, which,
smart.
We reap the reward.
They have a store in Nashville. It's not called Cool Springs Wine and Spirits, obviously.
Right.
It's their sister store. It's like 8th and Berry, I believe is what it's called.
They have one.
Something like that.
It's Total Wine. No, Total Wine came in.
Yeah.
And is basically with big old lobby money. They're trying to get this one liquor store license per person fixed.
Well, I mean, no, they clearly found either the loophole or it already did get changed.
Right.
Like administratively, not necessarily with the law. Either they changed it at the ABC level, or like through an administrative rulemaking process or something, or which I haven't done the research to know. Or I knew for a while there was some talk about like making the manager like a owner minority shareholder.
Yeah.
And then therefore putting it in the license in the manager's name.
Dude, I'd love to be a manager at a Total Wine.
And I don't know if that's what they ended up doing or not.
Give me 1%.
But I doubt it's even 1%. It's probably like 1% of that store. Not just.
Oh, I know.
Probably not even a percent.
I'm still saying that, dude, that's probably, I don't know. I'm guessing 20 million a year.
But whatever, the store doing 20 million a year or the 1%
probably.
being 20 million a year.
No, Lord.
I was about to say, if that, I think your math is off.
No, but I mean, like, that's an extra little $200,000 bonus on the year.
But I would say regardless, if they either just found the loophole and exploited that, or if they did get something administratively changed, a lot of other stores that probably didn't want to test it by doing it that way are finally like, no, we're going to go for it now. We're just going to do this same method, because there's a couple other stores that have secondary locations or are using other family members or corporate structure or something to get a license in another name and have second amount of stores. So
yeah, because I mean, Barrels and Brews has 2. They're named Barrels and Brews,
but they did that prior to even Total Wine opening.
Yes,
and I think it's because while they are,
I don't know, but I think Vrew's like cousin is like
right,
majority shareholder.
It's
maybe
because the family, it's family business.
Yes.
Someone else in the family has the license at the other one. And also like this is a little bit more separate, but still kind of within the family. So Red Dog is owned by Bard.
Yes.
And his daughter owns the bottle shop at McEwen, but they are 2 different stores, 2 different businesses, but they're still very close because it's family. So,
right. Dude, both stores are cool.
Oh yeah.
Bottle shop is cool. Honestly, I feel like when I walk into bottle shop, I'm walking into something fancy.
Pro tip, bottle shop. If you need to pick up a bottle of wine and you shopped at Whole Foods,
just call ahead.
No, go next door and have like your Whole Foods bag in your hand and you get a discount on wine if you're not buying it from Whole Foods. So they're like, oh, were you in Whole Foods and didn't get wine? And you're like, right. And they're like, all right, 10% off. So, but not on your liquor, just on the wine.
Oh, yeah. Well, they don't have liquor in Whole Foods.
Right. It's just as like a thank you for supporting us and
100%.
Buying it from Whole Foods. More like, not Whole Foods. I was trying to say what rhymes with whole. Didn't work. I was going to say Schmoll Foods, but that's not great. That didn't.
That's not. I don't think you can say Schmoll in 2022 either. I'm dating this show. It's 2023. Holy crap.
I know. That's why I thought you were doing that. I thought you were being funny.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I haven't transitioned yet.
You did try to murder me, by the way. You gave me a Glencairn with a
crack in it.
Sliced. It's like sharp. And I did cut my lip a little bit, but I'm not bleeding.
Oh, juice.
Yeah. What?
I said juice.
Okay.
It's kind of like saying gas, but man, that's gas.
I did.
That means cool.
Nice.
The kids are saying it.
No, one time I was a leader at a Disciple Now, right? And
this checks
you
out.
know what Disciple Now is, like, especially when you're in college.
My band played it.
Yeah, they're like, come home from college and do Disciple Now weekend. So I came back and I had my mom's van to like haul these like high school guys around from like the house we're staying at back to the church.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, they're high school guys and they were just ripping farts in the van. Like, cause they thought it was hilarious. Right. And one's
named Ray.
One kid ripped this fart that would raise the dead so they could die again. Like, that's how wretched it was. It was so bad. And everyone was like, oh. and I just, not thinking, was so disturbed by this. I go, oh my gosh. Someone goes, what? I go, it smells like ass. And they go, what'd you say? And I said, gas. It smells like gas.
It smells like gas in here.
Yeah,
that's a good save.
Yeah. Oh, it was the most clutch save I've had.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can definitively say that was it.
Right.
But I was proud of myself. I was like, man, that was quick thinking.
Right.
So, speaking of gas, well, we were going to go to the 15, but you said you didn't want to do the 15 or something.
No, I think we save it. That's what I'm saying. We've not done a 15 before. Like, we did it last week. We didn't even get to it.
I know, but I still don't think you're understanding the ingenuity of what I'm saying.
All right. Do we want to just try it?
Why can't we do the 15?
We can do the 15.
Hit the music.
Oh, dang it. You beat me to it. Hit the music.
Yeah. What I'm saying is we can do stuff on 15.
Yeah, because nobody watches the videos anyway.
Yeah. Like 1,000, but hopefully more than that. All right.
Okay, I'm going to clip that for a reel.
And we're back from the 15.
Some say we never left, Will.
All right, Greeze, what'd you buy?
What do you mean?
What'd you buy here?
No, I bought...
Oh, it came in a tube. I'm going to buy it.
Okay, so here's why I'm thinking that we don't do this. I know we talked about it.
We just decided.
Ty Gallenbeck had an amazing idea. The lost episode has been found, and it's aged to 14 years.
That is pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. I feel like we need to come out, and the whole topic is the lost episode.
All right, new 15. Give me that Calumet 16.
No, but we have...
That's mine, or yours anyways, isn't it? I brought the 15
it's ours,
over.
Right?
No, I know. Yeah, but I couldn't remember who picked it up.
Well, if it's here without you, I purchased it.
No, but I brought a 15 over because we were going to do a side-by-side at some point.
Right. You bought the 15. I bought the 16.
But the 15, it should be here.
I'm always one ahead of you. It's here. It's here.
Right, but you said if it's here, then anyhow, no worries.
I thought I gave it back to you.
No, I didn't see you. I was here and then I didn't see you. So we're drinking Calumet 16. I've had this already.
Oh, man.
I had this in a flight that I drank it blind that Kim and Mark sent me when I did that game, that drinking game live.
Yep.
So this is...
Dude, those pours they sent you were stupid.
I know. I want you to go away more often so they can send me more blind flights.
I know.
All right. So this is... It says Calumet, which I always want to say Calumet because I feel like it would sound better if it's French.
Do you remember Calumet back in the day with like the small batches and stuff?
They still have them.
How bad it was?
I don't know if I've ever had one.
I remember, and I don't want to talk bad about them because they have redeemed themselves so much. But back then, it was like kind of one of the first whiskeys that I was like,
Yeah, see, I don't know if I ever had it.
It just fell flat, fell short, no finish.
And it was pretty pricey. I feel like it was pretty pricey back then. Still, so this says single rack black, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, rack number W4005.09. So they have like...
what proof?
They have fractions in their rack numbers. I don't believe that at all. This is a batch of 19 barrels, and it is 106 proof. And it says Triple Crown winner citation. So I guess it's named after a horse. So 106 proof, 16-year-old. Let's do it. Yeah, it's got the story of the stunning 2-year-old season in 1947 when famed Ben Jones knew their horse was set to have a breakout 3-year-old. So they released a
14-year.
14,
a 15,
and a 16.
And a 16.
Yeah. The 15.
It's like the what's the orphan barrel that you love?
Oh, the rhetoric. Yeah. Yeah, similar. Do you have the 15 one around here? It should be
it's
close
somewhere.
By. I was wondering if they're the same proof because I don't remember what the proof is.
Oh, dude, did you know that I had this?
Yeah.
You know that I have a fall of 2009 Eagle Rare 17?
Yes, I did know that.
That's great.
Yep, he's back.
Have you tried to steal it?
No. I haven't.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I found your fingerprints on it. Your footprints. I found your footprints on this, Will.
I didn't say I hadn't touched it. It doesn't mean I tried to steal it.
Copy that.
Why do I need to steal something when I know right where it's at? It's got like bubble gum on the nose.
It's everything I would want in a 16-year, 106 proof. It's exactly where it's at.
So I thought when I had it blind...
If you want to trust a label, you can trust that label.
When I had it blind, I thought it was either a Brown-Forman product or a Barton product.
I could see...
And I bet it's a Barton product.
Yeah.
And so I guessed it was... Because it doesn't drink 106 proof to me. I guessed, I think, on that show that it was that new... I think I said it was that new Old Forester King's Ranch.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not, clearly. Because I'm like, oh, there's a little bit more wood influence, and it tastes like it's Brown-Forman. So I thought maybe, because the King Ranch, I think, has the mesquite.
Oh, you know why they named it after Citation? The horse?
Why?
Because it went on a 16-race win streak.
Does it say that on the back?
Says it right here. 16-race win streak.
Nice.
Trainer was Ben Jones.
Greeze, didn't know you could read letters that small.
Dude, okay. So
without your
Barney
readers.
Lubbers, very early in the show, which, by the way, if you go to the podcask.com, you can actually scroll through every episode that we have. It's pretty fun going back. I've done it a few times. Man, have we come a long way. But Bernie Lubbers was really episode 2.
Yeah,
episode 2. Bernie Lubbers was
2 or 3.
Yeah, somewhere in there. And he basically taught us how to read a label. And
you're old and don't have your readers on, and those letters are smaller than a millimeter. That says 16 race win streak. So while I understand you're supposed to read a label, that's never stopped. It's never stopped you from not reading a label before. I was just impressed that you picked up on that. So,
yeah,
cheers to you.
Yeah, buddy.
This is great. What's the price on it? It was like $150, wasn't it?
It was. I don't think.
I think it was.
Yeah,
because I think the 15-year was like $125 or $129.
Yeah,
and I think this one was a little bit more expensive, like $149. And then
it was close to it.
The 14-year, I think, is just under $120, if not right at $120. It's pricey. It's 16-year-old whiskey, though, and there's 16-year-old whiskey that is much more expensive than this. I like the proof on it. It's in my sweet spot. I like that 100 to 110. I think it's really good. The big question, obviously, is
I'm 100 to 115. I like that proof range.
That's a wide proof range.
But dude, there's some barrel strength stuff.
7.5%.
There's some like
swing
hot stuff that drinks 115 that I absolutely love too.
Well, no, I love barrel proof whiskey. I'm just saying, like my favorite, my sweet spot is that 100 to 110. I love that I just threw shade and said that's 7.5% swing, as though mine's not a 5% swing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, dude, this was great.
Well, we haven't said buy bar pass on this.
150.
That's the problem. It's hard.
It is always the problem. You know what? Screw it. In this day and age, in the whiskey world, $150 for a 16-year-old delicious whiskey, not a problem for me.
I don't think there's going to be many people that drink this and don't like it.
Right.
I think that the comparisons are fair. I do think, and we're going to do a side-by-side video of the 16 and 15 because I love the 15. I think the 15-year was one of my favorite whiskeys last year. That I think that it would probably edge it out, and it's a little bit cheaper in theory if you can still find it on a shelf at this point. Yeah. But I think you're splitting hairs because it's like $20 at that point. You know, it's not that big of a difference in price.
Oh, in jump. Yeah.
And I think if anyone that buys this that can afford it, don't like break the bank, don't blow your budget on this if you can't. If buying $150 bottle of whiskey is going to be detrimental.
I think what you're saying, if you buy it, it's a splurge for you, you're not going to be bummed.
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
I really think you'll like it.
So I think that classifies it for both of us as a buy.
Say buy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's historically, it's tough for us to say buy for something that's $150.
100%. What? 153%.
So I think that the fact that we are both saying buy this is actually a testament to the drinkability. It's not going to be polarizing, but it's really solid. It's not over oaked.
That's exactly. Yeah, I thought about that earlier. This is not polarizing at all.
Think about this compared to.
I think a lot of people will like this.
Elijah Craig 18, which is very oaky.
Yeah, pretty polarizing.
Less proof.
Yeah,
and about the same price.
It's a little. Elijah Craig 18 is a little bit more.
Is it now? I thought it was at 150.
Well, I mean, it's really hard to find them at 150. People mark them up a little bit.
Sure. No, that's fair. Yeah, this one you're going to be able to find, but let's just call it at retail.
Yeah.
Say I think it's 150 is the SRP on both roughly. I think this one's going to be more accepted by most people that buy it. There are going to be people that think that Elijah Craig 18 is too oaky.
Yes.
And it's 90 proof. It's lower proof. I think there's a lot of people that will be happier with this purchase. So I don't know. I kind of lean towards this, which I never thought I would say that, but
we have the Elijah Craig pre-fire Japanese release at Whiskey Weekend.
Yeah. 18. And we did a 23.
Yes. The 18 was the best pour we had. So
yeah,
it was
really
also
good.
pre-fire. Like it's almost kind of like the Stitzel Weller of, our generation.
Right.
But Anyway.
I like that.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah. It's like the Stitzel.
Even though Stitzelweller did still kind of go into that same generation. Like, it was only a few years.
Well, it kind of limped in.
The tail end, yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at it.
All right, folks, thank you so much for listening and watching this show. I'm Will. This is the Greeze. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/thepodcast and look at the different levels. Greeze is about to go to a town hall right after this. So if you're a fan of the town halls that we do, or if you want to know more about it, go to patreon.com/thepodcast.
Basically a big hangout, big whiskey hangout once a month that we do it, minimum. Well, I mean, unless I'm sick.
Right. But also check out Whiskey Weekend. Go to whiskytainment.com.
Yes.
Check that out. It's where you can find out about Whiskey Weekend. It's going to be here in Franklin, Tennessee, March 9th through 12th in this year.
Yep.
The year of our Lord, 2023. And we shall have a grand time. A grand time shall be had.
We're going to Jack Daniels. We're going to Leaper's Fork. We're going around
some very
town.
special things, exclusive experiences at those places that you can't ever do and probably won't ever be able to do again after we
That's
show
actually
up.
accurate.
Yeah.
I thought you were overselling it.
No, I think that's legit.
No, yeah.
So
I was scared for a second. I was like, I don't know.
I'm not the one that oversells, but I will not underdeliver either. So go to whiskytainment.com, check it out, buy a ticket. Space is limited, capped at 100 people, and we are well on our way to sold out, but we're going to keep pushing until it officially is. Whiskytainment.com. That's it, Grease. We don't know Jack.
But we'll drink it, baby.